6:30 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. No mask required. That is the message from the School District 2, even after the CDC has come forward with new guidelines on masks in schools. However, as Q2's Andrea Lutz tells us, it doesn't mean that masks won't necessarily be worn.
The CDC says students benefit from in-person learning, and so that's a priority this fall to get students back into the classroom. That's exactly what School District 2 intends to do, mask or no mask. But the new Delta variant is now a factor. This fall, students are back in the classroom at School District 2, but when it comes to masks, not necessarily.
We're going to encourage masking, but at this point in time, not requiring it.
Superintendent Greg Upham took to Facebook, as he did many times during the pandemic, to get ready for the start of school in late August.
This office is not requiring masking at this time. We'll follow our local health officials and political leaders on what to do with that.
This is the COVID-19 Delta variant is pushing numbers of COVID cases in Yellowstone County up.
The Delta variant has my attention. I think it has all of our attention. Does it mean we're going to run from it? No, it doesn't mean that.
Upham says the district wants to move into a pre-pandemic era of normalcy for as much as possible.
What we want to do is start school as pre-COVID normal as possible.
Those changes from last year, like block scheduling and physically distancing, are now a thing of the past, but still within reach if the Delta variant hits harder. In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
Upham says school administrators will not do contact tracing this year, and instead that role will fall on those at Riverstone Health. He also reiterated the importance for those who can get vaccinated to do so, because there's concern over children ages 5 to 11 not being allowed the vaccine. COVID-19 cases continue to trend in the wrong direction here in Montana, as the state reported 263 new cases today, up from 231 yesterday, which had been the highest total in over 5 months. 39 of those new cases came in Yellowstone County, which was second behind only Flathead County with 55. Currently, Yellowstone County sits third in the state with 163 active cases, a number that has climbed consistently in recent weeks. Since the pandemic began, Yellowstone has seen more than 18,000 cases, which is 3,000 more than any county in Montana. There are currently 97 people hospitalized with the virus, and the state has seen more than 1,700 deaths. Well, the Poverty Flats fire has been spreading in the northern parts of the county of Bighorn and has settled down on the southern portion of the Crow Indian Reservation. It's estimated between 53,000 acres and 75,000 acres have burned. BIA fire crews protected the town of Dunmore last night. The fire did jump the Little Bighorn River, but crews put out a few spots of 1 and 2 acre fires. No structures or homes have burned. The fire is spreading in a northwest direction and is causing some challenges still. Last night, crews put down some containment lines.
There are some places where it does jump the line, whether it's a shift in winds, whether it's just really explosive fuels. The grass right now is just extremely dry. It doesn't take much to get that going. So it's kind of a combination of those things. We have planes putting down fire retardant. We also have helicopters that are dropping buckets of water on those problem areas as well.
We're feeling comfortable now, just progressing, one chain in, trying to get that secure for tonight, tomorrow. As resources come in from the team that ordered them, they will be replacing our crews, and we're still going to do mop-up today and tomorrow. And hopefully by Saturday, they'll have relief resources for our guys.
A Type 2 incident management team was expected to arrive today, but we're told it'll be here either tomorrow or Saturday after it demobilizes at another fire. Now turning to meteorologist Matthew Hidalgo, and these fires definitely continuing to produce some smoky skies out there.
Yes, we're still seeing light to moderate concentrations of smoke across the entire state. Let's take a look at the main headlines. We are going to talk about those showers and thunderstorms and where they are. And with those wildfires still burning out west, the haze and smoke is still an issue, which is worsening our air quality report. Let's take a look. The western and southern part of the state is still in that unhealthy category, and we could see more of the smoke move into the area this afternoon and evening. So if you have any respiratory issues, you might want to limit your time outdoors today and tomorrow. We'll have the full forecast in just a bit. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Matthew. After spending 9 days in the wilderness, a pair of hikers was successfully rescued this week in the Bighorn Mountains. According to the Bighorn County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office, a man and woman from Powell, Wyoming, left the Porcupine Falls area on July 18th. The pair ran out of food and water. One began experiencing medical complications. They tried hiking toward a road, but dehydration quickly set in. They were unable to reach that road. 8 days later, the hikers were finally able to get cell phone service and contacted the sheriff's office, saying they were stranded on a rocky cliff. Search and rescue teams were able to make contact with the hikers, brought them food, water, and medical supplies. The rescue crew stayed with them overnight until a helicopter from the Wyoming Air National Guard was able to arrive on scene and hoist each of the hikers out. According to the sheriff's office, the hikers are expected to make a full recovery. Montana Democrat John Tester is one of the 10 U.S. senators who've been negotiating a bipartisan deal on a $1 trillion infrastructure package. Last night, the Senate voted 62 to 37 to begin debating the proposal. But as Senator Tester told MTN's Mike Dennison today, it's still a bumpy, winding path toward getting the infrastructure package passed and onto the president's desk.
Tester said Thursday the infrastructure deal has money for roads, bridges, water systems, airports, expansion of high-speed internet into rural America, and doesn't raise anyone's taxes. But one of the no votes on advancing the proposal Wednesday was Montana's other U.S. Senator, Republican Steve Daines. He said he wants more details on how it's paid for. And Daines said it should not be a stepping stone to congressional Democrats' plans for a $3.5 trillion reconciliation budget package, which he called a reckless tax and spend spree. Tester said Thursday the two issues are related politically.
I think that there becomes a problem over on the House side if in fact we don't give the reconciliation package an effort to get across the finish line. If it's blown off and it's not done, they're probably going to not have enough votes to pass the traditional infrastructure.
Yet he also said the $3.5 trillion reconciliation package is a long way from coming together.
The $3.5 trillion package to be done through reconciliation is a shell right now. It's too early in the process for me to say this is a good idea or a bad idea. I'm going to give it a fair shot. I think there's plenty of needs out there, but it's going to depend on how it's paid for and how the money's spent.
As for the infrastructure package, Tester says much of it will be paid for with unspent COVID relief funds. He says one reason for that is because Republicans rejected proposals to beef up enforcement on unpaid taxes or increase taxes on corporations or the wealthy. Can the Senate finish its work on the solo infrastructure bill? Tester said Thursday he's hopeful it can clear the body in short order. That would take some bipartisan cooperation. We'll see if that can still happen. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, the infrastructure bill could be facing action on the Senate floor within the next week or so. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News here on Q2, Training Day. Billings police officers are now getting a crash course in dealing with the mental health crisis before ever putting on their uniforms. That story coming up next.
Hi everybody, Scott Breen in Hardin, catching up with one of Montana's freshest Hall of Fame high school coaches. Her story and style of success straight ahead.